So what is going on, guys? My name is Lethal and welcome back to another video. Before we get started into the video, I do want to apologize for not having a video go up Monday. I haven't figured out a game that I want to play yet for like a series, like a walkthrough. But however, I'm hoping by next Monday we'll have a video or a game that I've decided to play and I'll be able to upload. Anyway, we're going to be doing this Wednesday's video, which is when this will come out. We are going to be covering what we learned from ESL One Cologne. Now, in the background is just a pistol DM that I played earlier. Just I wanted to warm up my shot a bit. My pistol shot lately has not been great, so I just wanted to kind of just get into a server and just warm up my aim. Anyway, I've got 6 points I want to make, or at least what I learned from ESL One Cologne, as well as I have seen some of these points made by pros, which are points that I do agree with. And yeah, Pimp was the CS:GO former CS:GO pro player and analyst now. Made some good points, and I've copied one of them, actually two of them, because I do agree with them as well. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into point number one. The first point I want to make is that Liquid are the best team in the world for sure. Liquid had a really good tournament. They dropped one map in the in the final against Vitality. They lost 2-19-17. However, other than that, they beat Navi 2-0, and they obviously had a bye into the semi-finals because they topped their group. They did struggle somewhat in the group stage. They got 16 on Nuke against MVP, which you would think what shouldn't happen on paper. Navi should have beat them 2-0. Everyone knows the simple knife, which ended up costing them the game. And then they won the second map. So if he didn't do that and just killed Nitro, would have been straight 2-0. However, Liquid's recovery, especially their comeback on Overpass in against Navi, showed a lot of character, and it shows how far the team has come. This time last year, they just didn't, they weren't able to do that. And then in the final, of course, you had every major person step up. Twist had a phenomenal game, which a point they made on the desk, which I didn't really think of until I looked at the stats, is Twist didn't show up in finals last year, and that's what kind of was a difference. This final, he had a great final, and ultimately they won the tournament, won the Grand Slam, got an extra $1 million in their pocket, and we could be potentially looking at the Liquid era. 4-4, they've got Blast, Pro Los Angeles, and an IEM Chicago in the next 2 weeks. So potentially 6 out of 6, and that would be really impressive. And to put on top of it, Astralis are not there, so that's yet again era-wise is going slightly towards Liquid. Anyway, that leads nicely onto my second point, which is Astralis is still struggling. Astralis did not look like the Astralis of old. They played a good group stage, but when they got into the semi-finals against Vitality, they had a rough one. They lost Dust 2, I think it was 16-8, and then they won an Inferno overtime, which could have easily swung in Vitality's favor. They won that, I think, 22. It must have been 22-19. And then eventually they lost the overpass 16-9. There's some amazing plays in that series, but the one thing that did stand out to me was Device did not show up. Besides the Inferno game where he had a pretty nice ace in overtime, which kind of helped them get the win, he didn't have a great series, and his AWP shot wasn't looking as near as it or as good as it could be. And ultimately, I think that's what led them to struggle, and hopefully they can regain form. They got a bit of a break now with the next two events being off. I think their next event may be the major. No, there's bound to be another event. But they've got a couple of weeks off, and then they'll get back into training, from what the players have been saying. So fingers crossed we can see the Astralis of old, because it would make for extremely good gameplay and good tournaments if they're back up to full strength. Anyway, my point number three is very similar to the Astralis, but however, this one is probably a lot worse for the team involved. MRBR are in turmoil. They did not look good whatsoever. They obviously brought in Lucas to try and fix the problems they were having internally. However, it didn't work whatsoever. They ended up crashing out. Not even before they even got to the group, didn't even get out group stage. I think they finished in last place or joint last place. Um, and the fallout from that is Cold Zero has said he will leave. There was a report published by HLTV that says sources close to MRBR have confirmed to them, at least, that Cold Zero will eventually walk after these next two events, which I know one of them is Bass Pro this coming weekend. However, I can't remember what the second one is. It may be Chicago. But I'm not 100% sure. And ultimately, after that, he wants to find a new team. A lot of rumors that FaZe are in contact with MRBR and trying to get a buyout so that they could replace Neo. And then that team would have a another world class star on that team. But who knows? All we know is that he wants to leave, and then MRBR are going to be back in square one. Um, and ultimately I might make a video explaining what I would do if I was them. However, I haven't really decided yet. But that is it's a shame for MRBR obviously with the history they've given. But yeah. Point number four I've got to make, which is a bit of a happier point, which I enjoyed watching this team play, is Navi are back. They're back and they proven they can play against the top teams. Yes, they did choke to Liquid. They did lose to them again. However, they showed that they have what it takes. They beat a Nip, which I know Nip are not in the quarterfinals at least. Nip um are not set yet. Obviously, with rumours that Get Right is potentially retiring, and then obviously their roster changes with Golden potentially coming in. However, Navi looked really good. Simple played a really good tournament. Boomich looked like he fitted in perfectly. He had a great overpass game against Liquid. Dropped I think 20 something kills. I think it was like 22 in the first half, and then it ended with like 32. He will be a really good player, and there is it's been confirmed that he potentially will take over the in-game leadership from Zeus in the coming months, years. He has been brought in to be the future, and he suited it perfectly. He had a good tournament, and Navi are back. They got to the semis, obviously crashed out to the eventual winners, Liquid. However, everybody looked on point. The teamwork was good, and ultimately they should beat Liquid in the group stage if Simple didn't go for that knife. But it's good to see him back. I'm glad that they have had some sort of success, and hopefully they can continue to get better and be a threat for months to come. The more great teams we have, the best Counter Strike we're going to get, and the best tournaments we are going to have. So fingers crossed. Anyway, moving on to point number five is ZywOo from Vitality is arguably the best player in the world right now. Now, I've always kind of had conflicting opinions with this because um, he's had an amazing tournament and he's had an amazing run in Vitality. The only issue that I would ever bring up is he needs to do it more. He needs to do it more on the big stages, and the more bigger tournaments he plays, the more I do expect him to become this eventual be the best player in the world. In my opinion, right now, just based off consistency and what he does for his team, I think Elise is probably the best player in the world. But I would put ZywOo. I would say ZywOo and Simple are joined right next to each other. Just purely the only reason I put Lige there is, as I say, he's been more consistent for Liquid. He has helped Liquid become what they are today with being the best team in the world. And I think ZywOo is on course to do that, and he is on course to become the best player in the world. He's got everything that you need from the best player in the world. I just think he needs to do it on a more um, expanded level. And what I mean by that is he just needs to however, if he has a couple more tournaments like he's had in like the past couple, he'll be the best player in the world, in my opinion. Because I just don't think he has enough on his resume, as they say, to kind of be classed as the best player in the world. However, a point we can make to that is Vitality are the real deal. They are arguably one of the best teams in the world, and they've proven it. Got into the final. I know some of the maps weren't close, but they got there. They took a map off Liquid. It's improvements, and ultimately, it's good to see Vitality. It's good to see another French team play so well, especially after G2 and the Pro League finals. Obviously, yet again taking a map off Liquid and being as good as they were. Anyway, the final point I want to make is nothing to do with players or teams. It is the crowd and the event. The event was absolutely amazing. The crowd were epic. A lot of people talking saying Cologne should be the major. However, if it never does formulate into how being hosting the major, I'll be glad to have it every year. The crowd was amazing. The atmosphere you could see in that arena was epic. Um, and normally it was just a joy to watch. There was so many great moments, so many great players. Obviously, Get Right speech I think teared everyone up, and I think I speak for the whole community when we all want to see him around. He's an inspiration for a lot of people, and a lot of people want to become pro because of him and what he represents. Even seeing Pasha there with DHL was epic, and overall was a 10 out of 10 event for me. Counter Strike was some really good matches. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. This has been my 6 things we have learned from ESL One Cologne. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Give me what you want to see. On Friday there will be another smokes video. I think it will be Inferno. I've decided. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, guys. Subscribe down below, and I will see you next time.